And I'm not gonna lie, the one thing I'm hurt about, I hurt my feelings, my soul, me as a DVD player and a content creator. Why y'all ain't say nothing about palette density? Damn it! Nothing about palette density. Zilch. What's going on, What's going on, boys? Your boy Entity's Hour. We're back with some more DVD content. Now, as y'all know, the DVD dropped their community stream. I think it was like 2-3 days ago or something, and it was 3 hours long. Nobody got time for that. So the man Scott, he's basically just gonna summarize everything and talk about it. I'm just gonna react to it. His original video of this will be in the description below, so y'all make sure to check that out as well. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and real quick before we get into the video, I appreciate all the love on my one video I did of the Quiet Kills video hitting like 1.2k views. That shit was fire. Appreciate everyone that commented, the subscriptions, I said subscriptions, yeah, the people that subscribed and stuff like that. But so we're gonna get on with the video.
Hey guys, Scott here with a summary of the dev live stream from July 23rd, 2026. It was like 3 hours long almost, and probably 4 minutes of it was stuff that was actually relevant to the game's health and changing. A lot of it was going into the Judgment, the new killer that's coming out, and the live design process with it. And that's cool enough if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I'm more of a let's actually play it and then start judging the killer.
Yes,
I don't actually think that that stuff is super relevant for the overall meta and health of the game. It's just the new killer. But again, interesting stuff. The model looks fucking amazingly cool. The audio sounds great. Obviously, all that stuff is always amazing. I'm not sure how it's going to play, but that is legit what the majority of the stream was just about the Judgment. He's going to be on the PTB, or she, he, it, whatever it is going to be on the PTB in a couple of weeks, and we'll have more discussions on that once I can actually play the killer and see how it.
Real quick, just because we're speaking on the new killer, how do y'all feel about the new killer so far? Do y'all like him? Do y'all don't like him? Him, her, it, whatever the pronouns are. How do y'all feel about him? I think the only thing I've heard about it so far, y'all can, like I said, y'all can correct me in the comments and stuff like that. I want to be as informed for you guys. I don't want to misinform, but isn't the Judgment a 4.4 killer now? Or didn't it come out with them being a 4.4 killer? If that's true, I feel like we need more higher level killers, like a 4.6 or something. But because they do a lot of 4.4. I can't even think of all the 4.4s we have. Chucky, fucking Jason, Trapper. Yeah, we have a lot, just to name some. But yeah, I'm curious.
Deals and all that stuff. But there were 2 slides on this entire stream that I do want to talk about, because it's the stuff that's important to me. Because DBD has been in a very, very stale spot. I think this is the year with the least changes in the game's history. There has been no year close to this for so little things happening in terms of perk reworks and killer reworks and updates and things like that. Like, almost nothing has happened this year. It's been very slow, and unfortunately it's going to continue to be slow until like November-ish region. Near the end of the year, we're finally going to get a big patch that shakes up a lot of perks, and that's really great. I'm looking forward to it, but man, it is just such a stale, monotonous, exact same thing type of year here, and I was really.
And the one thing I'm curious about is, and I don't mean for this video to be me just shitting on behavior, because I know my last few videos has kind of been me shitting on them, but it's just, I'm a very honest and blunt person. If something don't feel right to me, I'm gonna speak on it. But my thing is, and I feel like everybody says this about behavior in DBD as a whole, the game's been out for 10 years. Why is some of the fixes that they need to fix haven't they done yet? Like the killers, stuff like buffing up the killers, fixing stuff for killers, fixing whatever needs to be fixed for Survivor as well. Because I'm pretty sure that, like, I know I'm very killer sided or whatever, but I'm pretty sure there's just as much wrong on the Survivor side that needs to be fixed as there is on the killer side. The game's been out for 10 years. Why is it taking this long to fix everything that actually needs to be fixed compared to stuff that does not really need to be touched? So,
hoping we get more stuff sooner. We are getting these changes, I believe, coming next patch, and I'll start with the best part. Sprint Burst finally is getting nerfed. Sprint Burst.
Yes! You Sprint Burst users count y'all DMDs! Y'all getting nerfed! Oh my god! Like, bro, I am so happy they're nerfing Sprint Burst, bro. I'm so happy. I get so tired of playing on killer, no matter who it is, and I'm about to get one of y'all, and y'all just be gone, bro. Y'all be gone. I'm so glad that they fixed that, but at the same time, they took too long to fix that, bro. Sprint Burst is probably one of the most used perks for a survivor. You can't, if you're a survivor main, I know like my last couple videos, I've had a couple of survivor mains comment, which is cool and great, but y'all can't sit here and don't be a entitled survivor. Be honest. And I will show respect to the one or two survivor mains that did comment. They were realistic. They weren't entitled. They weren't delusional. So shout out to those survivor mains that did comment. If I find your comment, I'm gonna probably put it on the screen. If I didn't, then it's probably because I couldn't find it. But yeah, don't be a delusional survivor. You know damn well Sprint Burst is used on a lot of y'all's perks. So them finally nerfing Sprint Burst was well needed, but too long overdue.
Has been the best perk in the game since 2016. The 2016 version was absolutely insane. If you guys didn't know, there was no exhaustion and had a 20-second cooldown. So imagine that mid-chase, you have to deal with like 6 sprint bursts.
So I didn't even know it was
Holy
that
shit.
broken.
But yeah, my point is, it has never like not been the best perk in the entire game. So it is long been overdue for a nerf, and it's getting a pretty sizable nerf. It's going from 3 seconds to 2 seconds, which is going to cut down your distance gain by a pretty notable amount. Now, it'll still be versatile in the sense that you can use it whenever you want, but it's not going to give you a free 15-second head start. It's a heckin' fun start. It's not going to give you a 15-second head start anymore against killers that cannot do anything about that without any movement. Now it's going to be closer to like probably 8 or 9 second head start, which is still a lot, and it's still going to get you to a safe area or something like that, but it's not as ridiculous anymore. So very happy with the sprint burst nerf. I think that perk is wildly overpowered. It's so much better than every other exhaustion perk. So I am completely happy with that nerf.
And I will say, this is just an idea. And y'all let me know in the comments how y'all would feel about this with just Sprint Burst alone. Because I know Sprint Burst got nerfed, but how would y'all? So y'all know how like there's some perks. More so on the killer side. Like you know how like I guess y'all can tell me if there is some on Survivor side too. But y'all know how on the more so part on killer there's perks like Pain Renaissance. We'll take that for example. You know how like that has like only 4 tokens, and the killer can only hook one survivor per hook, like scourge hook. What if they did that for Sprint Burst? So that way it takes away the whole they can use it whenever they want. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of balance it out more. Or like, and I know some people are gonna say, what? Why would you do that? They just nerfed it. Why would you put it on like a certain? Listen, hear me out. Relax. I know you're about to type that. Hey, relax. If they did do that, I gotta say this right. Then they could keep how Sprint Burst was. Does that make sense? Keep the exhaustion, keep it however it just was, but have it be where y'all can only use it 4 times or 3 times or however many fair times. I'll be nice and say like 3-4 times. Y'all can only use it for the whole match instead of just using it unlimited. That would be nice. That would be tough, in my personal opinion. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that idea for Sprint Burst instead of them nerfing it the way they did.
Also, at the same time, Vigil is getting nerfed from 66% to 40% faster recovery. So Sprint Burst is actually getting double nerf because you would typically run that with Vigil. So it's actually getting double nerf in that regard, and I think that's good. Will the numbers be enough to make it not usable? I don't think so. 40% is still very good. It still applies to other effects, other perks, exposed and stuff from killer, the hinder from certain killer powers. It's still an insanely good perk. I just don't think it's going to be wildly overtuned as it currently is right now. So that,
I think I get where he's coming from. 66% from 66 to 40. That's 40% still a lot. I'm not. He is correct. He is correct. But I think, I don't know. Me personally, I think it's better than nothing. For one, first and foremost, it's better than nothing. Vigil, I don't care. This is one of those mindsets I'm gonna have with Vigil. You can argue with a wall. I don't care. Or go argue with a wall. Go argue with your mama. Go argue with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever. You ain't arguing with me in the comments about it. But I feel like Vigil should have gotten nerfed just a tiny bit more because, bro, like he just said, for example, Vigil usually does get ran with Sprint Burst among other exhaustion perks. So it's like that's a form of stacking, which technically speaking, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong on this one. Diminishing returns alone should be nerfing that combo as is. it don't seem like diminishing returns is nerfing that combo. Because I still see a lot of survivors using Vigil, Sprint Burst, Vigil, Sprint Burst. So it's like diminishing returns ain't really diminishing much from neither one of those two perks. But I personally think they should have nerfed Vigil a little bit more. I'm glad that they finally did something to Vigil. And you know what I'm saying? W behavior, about time. Should have knocked it out a little bit more, you know, just a little bit. But yeah,
it's really good. Deliverance is getting nerfed, but it's getting nerfed in the sense that it doesn't affect the thing that makes it strong. It's not harder to activate. It doesn't change the effect. What happens is you remain broken for longer now, which doesn't really matter because the whole point of running Deliverance is you run it with Decisive Strike, you unhook yourself, and the killer is forced to take a bad chase, basically, or just ignore you. So either he's ignoring you and the extended broken doesn't matter, or he's ignoring you and you're not, you know, using your Decisive Strike and you're not getting tunneled. Or he does chase you and you do use that shit. So I don't think it's going to actually change what makes Deliverance so strong. So I don't even really see that as much of a nerf. It's not going to matter very much.
So what did wait,
I gotta run that back.
What did they do to Deliverance?
What makes Deliverance so strong. So I don't even really see that as much of a nerf. It's not going to matter.
Wait, go back a little bit. I'm sorry.
Strike and you're not getting tunneled. Or he does chase you and
at
chase, basically, or just ignore you. So either he's...
But where is it? Right here.
Strong. It's not harder to activate. It doesn't change the effect. What happens is you remain broken for longer now, which doesn't really matter because the whole point of running Deliverance is you run it with Decisive.
That's it? Y'all just made broken last longer?
Strike. You unhook yourself, and the killer is forced to take a bad chase, basically, or just ignore you. So either he's ignoring you and the extended broken doesn't matter, or he's ignoring you and you're not, you know, using your Decisive Strike and you're not getting tunneled. Or he does chase you and you do use that shit. So I don't think it's going to actually change what makes Deliverance so strong. So I don't even really see that as much.
So they only nerfed two things out of survivors. Why didn't they...
On the killer side for nerf...
Why didn't they nerf how it gets activated? I must have missed that part over Deliverance. I'm not going to speak too much on it because, like I just said, I must have missed that part or not thought too deep in it. But if that is the case, why didn't they... They should have just making it last, just making broken last longer. That's it. But then it's like you said, y'all can just add Decisive Strike or Will to Live or something, you know, something, whatever, like, you know, something like that. I know probably Will to Live probably isn't the best example because Will to Live only happens once you're down or whatever, but you get what I'm saying, like something along those lines, like Decisive Strike and stuff. What?
Nowhere to Hide is being slightly nerfed from 24 meters to 18 meters of radius, which is fine. I Nowhere to Hide is a pretty good aura reading perk, so I'm not super opposed to that. I'm
opposed to it. Because, bro, why did y'all touch Nowhere to Hide, bro? I use that on a good bit of my builds, bro. Because it's like, don't get me wrong, I get it. Like, Nowhere to Hide is kind of like, 24 meters is pretty decently, you know, big range. But, like, it don't really do nothing else to the survivor. It just lets us know where y'all are at. Because a lot of times, I don't know if it's experienced or non-experienced survivors, but just survivors in general. You know, what y'all do is y'all will go on a generator, y'all see the killer coming, and then y'all will hide somewhere nearby. That just helps us know if y'all are just not really camping. I don't want to use the word camping, but just hiding around, because, you know, like, because obviously I don't want to use the word camping because camping means y'all just stay there regardless or whatever. But yeah, like, y'all are just staying within the area, which I don't know why y'all would, but I kind of do get why y'all would, because, you know, maybe the killer will go away, but like we not gonna go away, bro. If we see the generator on like 25-50%, we know someone's nearby. You know what I'm saying? Especially if your scratch marks didn't even go that far away. We know y'all nearby. But yeah, Nowhere to Hide didn't really need to get touched, for real, in my opinion. It's not like, I mean, it's not like I said, it's not the end of the world. 18 meters is still decent, but I don't know, they should have just left that alone, bro.
I think this is more of an instance of Nurse equipping Nowhere to Hide, them seeing it's too good on Nurse and then nerfing it because of that. I don't think the perk needed a nerf, but it's also not so nerfed that it's unusable. So
and stop comparing everything to Nurse, damn it. Not him. But if that is the case and that's what they're doing, and they're using the Nurse to determine what perks are broken and what aren't, stop doing that. Not everybody and their mama plays the Nurse. The Nurse is a difficult killer to use, brother. Not everybody and their mama use Nurse. You got to be very skilled to use the Nurse. I think that's a fair point to say. So I feel like using the Nurse as a skill level to determine, oh, this perk works pretty well, this perk is broken. No, Don't use her. Do not use her. That is no, because like literally, if you're a good nurse main, you can make any perk look broken. Literally any perk. It don't matter what it is. Pain Renaissance, nowhere to hide, batteries included, any hex build. You can make any of those perks look broken if you're really good at nurse. So do not use nurse as a fucking criteria to determine if a damn perk is broken or not.
Chorophobia got a pretty big nerf from 50% heal speed reduction to 30%. And as they were building up to it, I know the reason why. It's because it's used on slugging builds, and it's very, very hard to deal with those builds in solo queue, especially when they have chorophobia. So I get that they want to limit that type of thing, but I've always felt that.
Wait, you don't write anything down after conversations?
This is Pocket. I never go anywhere without it.
People run those builds because they find hooking to be detrimental, and I think you should just make hooking seem to be a better idea than slugging, and then people won't gravitate towards slugging as much. But instead, they just decide to go for the punishing mentality rather than rewarding people for doing the other thing mentality. So I don't know which is the best way to do it. I don't really think it's going to change that much because the skill check speed as well is what trips people up a lot too, but it'll still be useful. 30% reduction on top of other things is still going to make it hard to deal with slugging, but I understand at least where they're coming from because in solo queue, going against a slugging singularity with chorophobia, it's basically unwinnable. You're just never going to win that shit. So I get why, but at the same time, I kind of wish they rewarded hooking more.
Yeah.
Thrill the Hunt is getting a pretty minor nerf. I really wish they just nerfed Jason using Thrill the Hunt, not Thrill the Hunt, but it's going from 12% per token to 10% per token. This will basically equate to a 10% difference in speed, so a couple seconds difference in terms of cleansing a totem. Not a huge change. Still going to be very good on Jason. So it's basically just being reverted back to the previous version. A lot of the frustrations I have with these things is a lot of the changes they're making are just making them the version they already used to be. Like Adrenaline, for example, is getting buffed to 4 seconds, which is an in-between the 3 and 5 seconds. So they're not doing a new thing, they're just undoing a thing they just did. So it's not even forward progress, it's just undoing the thing that they did. So that's sort of whatever.
Personally, I ain't gonna lie. I can speak on this because I have Adrenaline in my build. Hey, and again, I'm just saying, bro. Adrenaline didn't need to be touched. I'm gonna say it, bro. I don't think Adrenaline needed to be touched. It didn't. It's already a pretty good, pretty decently not broken. I'm gonna use the word broken because everyone uses the word broken too much. But that perk was already decently good as is. It didn't need to be touched. Adrenaline could have been. They could have replaced Adrenaline and buffed something else for Survivor than Adrenaline. I didn't need it.
Call Up Brian is getting minorly buffed. It's still probably not going to be worth running at all. No. Save the Best for Last, they didn't know how it's going to be buffed somehow, despite talking about it. They didn't have the numbers on it. The fact that they said we don't have the numbers on it makes me think it's just going to be a simple numerical buff. So 5% per token instead of 4 or something like that. I don't know. It's probably not going to change the fact that the perk has been kind of murdered by not allowing stack preservation with special powers and stuff like that.
My question is this then. If they don't even know what they were doing to fix or to buff Save the Best for Last, why did you even bring it up? Why did y'all even bring it up? If y'all don't have the numbers, y'all don't have nothing to give us to let us know what's changing about it, why did y'all bring it up? Y'all could have just used it. Y'all could have, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just wasted y'all breath on that. And then real quick side note, who else heard their shitty ass mics during this community stream? You couldn't hear half of the stuff that they were talking about at a certain point, which was crazy. Almost $1 billion company, and y'all got horrible mic. That's crazy. But yeah, that's wild that they didn't know what they're really doing to save the best for last. They could have just, wow.
So the way that Mandy worded that, I don't think that's going to be a factor. It's just going to be numerical buffs, but it's not going to be good enough to run, I don't think, on most killers. Nurse's Calling is allowing you to, what it used to do, see people that are being healed from the dying state. So it's just basically, again, being reverted to what it already did. So it's not even a buff. It's just a reversion back to the old ways. Apocalyptic Ingenuity, you still have to open 2 chests. Worthless. No one's ever going to run this. Clean Break, they're making the broken last, I think, for 60 seconds now. Or no, 45 seconds. I forget. The point is, still no one's going to run it. Moment of Glory, still no one's going to run it. Repressed Alliance, they actually somehow nerfed by making it last longer. The whole point of Repressed Alliance is when a killer walks up to a generator, you block it momentarily so they can't pop it or use their regression on it, and it needs to last the perfect amount of duration to where it's long enough for the killer to not sit there and wait it out and then apply the regression, but it's short enough to where you can go back to working on the generator once the killer leaves. All they did now is make it last even longer, so killer walks up to a gen, you regress it, great, you've applied free slowdown for the generator, the killer, and he's gonna go somewhere else now. They've actually just managed to make a shitty perk even worse, which is mind-boggling. Technician is
y'all should run that.
I don't even want to dignify talking about it. Now, the second interesting frame of the two interesting frames of the stream, talking about what we're going to be getting much later. This is not coming out with the Judgment. This is not coming out when a mid-chapter. Beyond that, it's coming out with the next, they said the next killer release. So, as far as I'm aware, that means it would be if Art the Clown is even going to be in the game at this point with the lawsuits and stuff, but it's going to be like that November time period. So that is how long we have to wait to get what actually does amount to be pretty cool. Unfortunately, no killers are being changed, but they are changing 45 perks, which is great. The problem is, if they are reworking them in such an uninteresting way as they've shown that they're doing for this patch, again, other than simple things like sprint burst, which can be solved with simple number changes, I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of disappointment. I think we're going to have a lot of behavior patches where resilience is 10% instead of 9%. Yippity-hoo-dah. Like, who cares? Like, it's not doing anything. I am not super optimistic about it. I'm glad that they're actually changing that many things. That's the number we should be seeing most patches. Like, maybe not 45, that's a lot. I'd say 20 to 30 is plenty in terms of changing perks to update every, mid-chapter patch or something like that. That's a perfectly feasible, reasonable thing for them to do. So 45 is a little overkill, but I think a lot of that is because diminishing returns, they're finally going to be adjusting perks to make them better now.
And real quick, how many of y'all are actually nervous of this? Like Killer and Survivor Man. I'm not just gonna say it's one specific side. Just as a unit, as a collective unit on this one. How many of y'all are actually nervous about them changing over 45 perks? Because not even just what he's saying, just with behavior as a whole throughout the years, they've been kind of iffy here and there. Like some good, some bad, but lately it's been kind of the shitter with some of the perks that they've done or some of the updates that they've done. How many of y'all are actually nervous with this? Because I feel like they're going to mess up a lot of perks with this, especially with trying to combine it with diminishing returns and make it make sense with diminishing returns. I feel like you said, if Art the Clown actually comes out, which should be in like November-ish, November is probably going to either be a good thing or a bad thing for DBD. Like that's going to be like the you get what I'm saying? So I'm nervous personally.
Now, apparently 2/3 of the perks that are being reworked are being buffed to account for diminishing returns. Again, this is something that should have happened months ago. Thanks. All it did is made everyone think that diminishing returns is a terrible idea when it's a good idea. It just needs to be changed alongside these things that they just take way too long to do. So this will all eventually be good, and I'm happy to see that. But again, the name of the game here is just too slow. They have so many people working on this game, and it's not like a programming issue where you can't just throw 10 programmers and things get done 10 times as fast. It's not like that. But I'm just saying, you could have an ideas guy rework some of these perks every mid-chapter, send it to the actual, people that program the game, and implement those, and it really shouldn't take that long. I will forever die on this hill. There's no excuse as to how infrequently they update things. It's just simply ridiculous.
Yes,
now, if this is a sign of a trend going forward, that will be great. I'm just not so sure it is, because using history, that's just not the case. Like in patch 6 point, God, I don't remember, 6 point something, we had, a giant meta rework, and it was really exciting. I remember reading the patch notes going, oh my God, they finally did it. They did a Path of Exile patch notes where they actually changed more than 5 things. This is exciting. And then that was it. They just didn't do it ever again. So this might just be a one-time thing, and we're in the same boat again of nothing happening for years and years again. So that's why I'm tentatively excited about this. I'm not going to get hurt again and think that it's spelling what's going to be happening going forward, because
I will say one thing I'm actually hurt about. So I was in Evil Vora's live while this is going on, and I'm not gonna lie, the one thing I'm hurt about, I hurt my feelings, my soul, me as a DVD player and a content creator, Why y'all ain't say nothing about pallet density, damn it?
What the fuck? What are y'all on? For real.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
Nothing about pallet density. Zilch, nada, nothing. Y'all should have said something about it, man. That's what we were really waiting for. Y'all said nothing. Y'all gave us all of this. And y'all gave us a little microscopic buffs, microscopic debuffs or nerfs, my fault, and stuff about Grimoire and all this and that, and all this all this information. Y'all said nothing about pallet density. What are y'all doing? There's like 4-5 pallets next to each other right now. Fix them pallets. Give us them. Fix that. Come on.
History has shown that's simply not what they're going to do. So I would love to be proven wrong here. I would love to have faith in them. But again, what they've done in the past shows that it's not going to be a long-lasting thing. So hopefully I'm wrong there. Other than that, they didn't really talk about much. They talked about MMR and said how it's not going to be based on kills only, but they've already said that before. So absolutely nothing new was given about that. This stream had more audio issues than Dead by Daylight itself.
I told y'all. Swear to God,
the
it
Judgment
did.
looks really cool, but I'll cover that when the PTB comes out. Overall, I mean, I would say I'm disappointed. Sprint Burst being nerfed and Vigil being nerfed, excellent. I'm happy for that. But that's kind of the only interesting thing meta shakeup-wise that's happening for the next probably 5 months, which is just, more like 4 months. But yeah, it's just not enough is happening for me to be like not bored and having the game be really stale in my opinion. So some good stuff happening. I don't know how.
Great video, Scott. Like I said, his video will be in the description below. I agree with that last part he said. The game is still very slow. I've been on Assassin's Creed Black Flag mostly because thank God that saved me. In the sense of boredom, I'll still crank out some DVD videos and stuff for y'all. But yeah, y'all let me know y'all thoughts, y'all comments and stuff like that. I'm gonna go, like I always say lately, I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna go play some Black Flag.
Bang, throw the shit back, boom.